It's you,
Thank
babe.
you
It's all
for
about
being
you.
part of this.
Oh, thank you for having me, firstly.
No, honestly, it's great to have you on here because it not only do we get to see a different side of you that a lot of people might not know, but it also gives inspiration for maybe that person who's sitting in the corner writing their stories and not telling anyone.
Yeah.
For many reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I suppose that's why the whole SAIAA and Zanzi Cupcake movement's there, hey? To
Indeed.
allow a person to feel that their voice matters.
Yes.
It
But
definitely does.
we're not going to be talking about that. I want to know about you.
It's about you tonight.
It's about you tonight, babe. I know it's a tough one because you are naturally a compassionate person. But besides writing the books and stuff, I want to know who Shavonne is.
Okay.
So tell me.
So Shavonne is, and if I have to speak to myself in third tense or third person,
Go for that, yes.
Whatever feels right.
she's an incredibly empathetic and sensitive person. I don't think people actually realize how sensitive I am.
You come across very strong, especially in your videos. You're this bubbly person, whatever. So
Yeah, so I suppose it's to my core. I'm actually quite an introvert, and I'm actually very sensitive. Like being invited to events, my first thing is like, oh my gosh, there's gonna be so many people. All the energy levels, and that's what actually drains me about people events. It's not the amount of people, it's I can actually feel people's energy levels, and that's what drains me. And because I'm a type of person, I've always been someone that tries to see the person for who they are. So I try and connect with the person emotionally. And some people you connect quite quickly with, and other people you tap, and you just can't get
the
there.
tap is not working.
Yeah, the tapping's not working, it's off. But every time you tap, it's an energy draw from yourself. And I think I'm someone that's very empathetic. I'm very sensitive. I might not show if someone's hurt me because I'd always try and extend with grace and empathy and trying to understand why a person may have and let's be honest, sometimes people aren't very sensitive and they just say a thing without even thinking that what they've said could have been perceived differently.
Yes.
But I'm actually quite a reserved person. I've learned to become louder, and I've learned to claim my space more. And only because I'm trying to show my girls that just because you are a sensitive person doesn't mean you have to stand back for someone.
Doesn't make you weak.
No, it doesn't. It's a different type of strength. It's a different type of je ne sais quoi. But there's strength in being reserved.
100%.
Definitely.
Strength comes in all types.
100%. So I think if I'm stuck into a room full of people, the first thing you'll catch me doing is I people watch, and I try and I'm like, okay, that these people fit in this energy group and those people fit in this energy group, and I immediately resonate with these people. I don't know why, but something's pulling me towards them. So, but it's also I wouldn't say survival instinct, but it's something that during my healing journey, I've obviously had to be very careful of who I exposed myself to when I was very early in my healing journey, because obviously something could derail me pretty quickly back then. So it was more of just a survival tactic in the beginning, which grew into something of, how do I manage my energy and who do I allow in and I don't allow in for whatever reason. First and foremost is to protect my own self, because if I drain my cup to empty, the first two people that suffer are my girls, and they're the most important, and then Mr. Cupcake. So it's more of just being sure that I give, but I don't give to the point of where it's a detriment to myself.
That's good knowledge to know about yourself, though. There's not a lot of people that understand that, especially as you are still quite a young age as well. Do you know what I mean? There's still people usually at your age are still developing that kind of understanding about oneself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the one upside to having all the trauma that I've had is it's obviously the sense of humor that one
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh,
very,
yeah.
it can get rather dark sometimes, right?
yeah. But the second thing is, I think it's put a couple of mileage on my soul. And that's probably why, I mean, David and I are 14 years apart, but it's not, the age gap isn't something that we feel, because my soul is old.
Yes. Because you've had to grow up quicker.
Yeah.
And I can relate to that because I understand that. And I also think that we, as you say, we can come across very strong. You know, you can look at your social media and you think, wow, this woman, you know, does this, and
you're very open about
very
what you've gone through, and I love your vulnerability.
Yeah, I think what I'm trying to show is also the I think we're in an era where, you know, women are made to feel that you must be strong and you must be this and you must be that, and I'm not saying that those versions are wrong. They're not at all wrong, but I think there's a different variations of strengths, and all of them have a space. And I think in my vulnerability, I'm trying to show, you know, I don't have it all together, and it's okay that I don't have it all together, but we're going to get there in the end, you know. And it's hopefully to give someone else hope who may be feeling in a more lost situation where I may be, to know that that's a place that they can get to.
Definitely.
And that's it, isn't it? It's about showing up and showing people that do hide in the background sometimes, thinking, well, my voice doesn't matter, you know. And it's by you stepping out of your own comfort zone, you know, into these awkward situations, you are doing that.
I'm hoping to.
You're not hoping to, you are.
Thank you. I think
you are doing that.
I think for me, what's really important is, you know, I've always, like, right back in school, like primary school, high school, and even kleuter school, I've always been liked, but I've never been part of the clique. Like, I was never
the spare friend.
Yeah, I was never the in crowd. Although the in crowd knew me and the in crowd liked me, and yes, I got invited to stuff. But the only clique I was ever a part of was the back of a pen. I'm a huge nerd. Like, I was nerdy as what they come, you know, like.
No way. I would not. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I
don't believe that.
No, I promise. Like, yes, I was good at sports and I was good at music and I was good at academics, but and you know, yes, people liked me and I had friends, but I'd only say I've really had like 2 close friends that were like who I would call friends. Lots of acquaintances, but you know, and I'm trying to show the girl or the woman or girl or both who feel they've never been part of the in crowd. It's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't either, and I'm still not.
Well, I think you kind of are, because
you are, babe. I just I must take off the blinders a little bit for you.
Mzansi cupcake.
But it's more of the Mzansi movement is more of just, it's a space of you You can come how you are. You don't have to be this perfect princess. You know,
It's such a beautiful space.
But it's your own in crowd. That's what I mean. It's
yeah.
that in crowd that accepts whoever it is coming into that space.
Yes, we can all be a part of the bigger click of the back of a pen.
Yeah.
Girl, I still remember the first time I forgot to properly tag you. I messaged you immediately and I'm like, I'm so sorry if I didn't tag you. I'm still getting used to this thing. I just know, like, that's how fangirling, how hard I was fangirling that time. So now that I know you a bit more and things like that, oh, believe me, I was stalking you today quite a bit. And
she's our professional stalker, by the
so
way.
you are an amazing being. I really want you to hear that and feel that you are an amazing being and you are changing so many people's lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you always write? Did it start at
Yes.
school or later in life? Or
So there's a bit of layers to the story. So
Onion.
like layers?
Onion.
so in my grade 10 year, I went to an all-girls school. It was Collegiate Girls High School that I went to, Port Elizabeth. And in grade 10, I got an English teacher named Mrs. Fletcher. And let me tell you, was she a character? She was one of those ladies that was actually the drama teacher, but she did English as well. So she was like very over the top. Like
Oh, that.
if she wore pink, it was pink makeup, but like stage makeup.
love it.
Like
The people at the back can see what's going on.
and every week she went for her nails and she would have these goedertjies plucked on her nails. Like she was something else. But like it was Mrs. Fletcher and we all loved her. And I'll never forget my first English lesson where she was like, girls, if you're in grade 10 and you don't know how to write a sentence by now, you are lost. But what I will teach you is to have the appreciation for literature. So we shall be spending all of our time on poetry and literature.
Sounds awesome.
Really, I like her.
And she was the one who unlocked my creative writing. So English was not my strongest subject at school. It was actually science. But you know, so I mean, I averaged like 60% for English, but I would score ridiculously high in creative writing. And she just had a way to encourage us to think differently about literature. And she sadly passed in my first year of university. She got pneumonia. And I was actually they reached out to me to ask if I'd like to speak at a funeral, but obviously I came to Stellies to study, so you know, traveling back wasn't an option. But I did write something for her. But she was definitely, she was the one teacher that really made a huge positive impact on my high school career, and just how I look at things is very much due to her. And then I went and studied BCom Management Accounting at university, which has absolutely nothing to do with writing. And
how did you land there? I need to stop you. How did you land there and go, okay, I'm going to do this? I'm going to do accounting now.
I don't know.
It's science. That is numbers.
I was good. I am good with numbers. And like I told you, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. I'm really good with numbers. So I thought, I don't really know what I'm going to study, but if I study this, that comes naturally to me, I can naturally make something of it as a career. And then I unfortunately landed in an extremely abusive relationship in my first year of working after graduating.
Well, that's a very vulnerable time as well.
Very well. I mean, second stage, unfortunately, I had an incident happen in my second year of university, which is what SAIAA Stone is based on. And I never told anyone.
No one.
So I didn't get the help that I needed. So, and then in my third year, I met a exchange student from America, and he was part of the military, and they were sending them to go study overseas so that they could get used to integrating into the cultures around them. Lovely guy, absolutely lovely guy, like good soul. And we ended up getting engaged, and then he went to Iraq, and unfortunately war had a toll on him, which rightly so it should. And we decided to break off the engagement because he was actually afraid that he was going to hurt me.
Wow.
which was actually quite a hugely respectful thing from him to do.
Yes.
And it just shows you it's a testament of what a good soul he is and was. But that combination of not getting the help that I needed when I had a certain hurt happen to me, then having my engagement fall through, and I was 90% done planning with my wedding, and everyone around me getting married at the same, they were getting married. That's just like what you did. You got engaged, you graduated, and then you worked a bit, and then you got married. Like that's what you did. And I'm so sorry for how this sounds, but
do not apologize.
He was meant to be a rebound. Honestly, I mean, he was just honestly meant to be a rebound. I was just like, my fuck it era was like, I'm pissed at everyone. I'm pissed at the system. I'm pissed at my parents. I'm pissed at men. I'm
just feel something else.
I'm just angry, and I'm going to do this decision because I know it's going to piss everyone off, and then we can all be pissed off together.
Like, everything.
That made absolute sense in my 23-year-old brain. That was like, this makes sense, And unfortunately, I fell part of the 0.00003% chance of actually falling into a relationship with a psychopath. And it was the perfect setting for him. It was the absolute perfect setting for him to put in his claws and start what they do, and what they do very well. And I was in an extremely abusive relationship. And at 34 weeks pregnant, that's when I decided, nope, we're not doing this anymore.
Well, that takes strength.
Yeah. Or delusionalness, one of the, all three, all of the above.
Well, you were putting your child's life above yours.
I didn't leave because of me. I
left because of your child.
Yeah, I was like, my bring up, my parents are still married today, and they love one another to absolute bits. So I had no reference to the life that I was living. And I was like, my child is not going to know this. Like, I'd rather be single and my child knows love than my child experience this monster. And he was a monster. I mean, get out and stay out. I'm very honest in what I survived.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was to the point that when I started therapy, because obviously I moved and then I gave birth, and then I had Bell's palsy in my right side of my face 2 weeks before I gave birth because of all the trauma.
Really?
Yeah. And then I gave birth, and then 3 days after giving birth, a company phoned to ask if I'm in the market. And 6 days after giving birth, I was sat in a boardroom with half a face that wasn't working, landing myself a job. And they asked me what makes me special. So,
and I not think you ask me that right now, please.
And I was like, so I held up a piece of paper, and I was like, well, I can do 2 facial expressions at the same time.
Done.
You are too precious. You are so cute.
So, and I think that's what won my boss's heart then. I mean, he's such a good guy as well. And he gave me the job. And I started work when Alexia was 7 weeks old. But then the ex followed me to Cape Town and trying all of his luck. So we obviously started the legal battles, and that's how I got hold of Lazan, who's one of the top psychotherapists in the country, but also like a really respected social worker. Anyway, so we both had to do tests, and it came out that I had PTSD, but of a level that someone went to war with. So I had to do therapy, and it was in therapy that I found writing to be a release. And it was one piece my very first piece called The Phantom of Music that I wrote. That
I
just
wanted to ask if you could read it, but before you do, because I'm going to say this properly, because there's something you mentioned to me before tonight. It
Yeah.
really stuck with me, and we spoke about it earlier. I'm going to go according to your writing, because some of your readers have commented on what they see as repetition in your fiction, but you've said that it actually is intentional. Could you touch base on that? Why?
Yeah, I think this is again, I think where the layer comes in is that there's an element of how Mrs. Fletcher taught us to look at literature. She always said a story is more than what you read. And I took that quite literally into my soul when I sat down to write The Phantom of Music. And it's something that has helped me process what I needed to process, but also to bring awareness. Now, I think, so my Greek myth retelling and Vengeance of the Serpent Shadow, those stories I wrote to show what recovery looks like when someone's experienced severe trauma. And healing from trauma isn't linear.
No.
It's not linear at all.
I said to you today, like when we were talking, I said sometimes I'll be reading something and then out of nowhere, or I'll be in an interview and something you said now sparked something, and I have to control my emotions at this moment.
Yeah,
it just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, and
I
I went through intense exposure therapy to deal with the type of trauma that I was working through. And the one thing that I learned with exposure therapy is that, so for those who don't know, exposure therapy is dealing with a certain memory that gives you high anxiety, and you keep returning to the memory until you're able to dissociate the anxiety from the memory, and it's just a memory. But it also helps your brain to file, because that's exactly what a flashback is. It's your brain saying, I don't know what to do with this memory. Where do I put it? And obviously with exposure therapy, there, you go back to the same memory, but each time you go back with your anxiety going down, you remember more detail. And sometimes the detail becomes clearer, where at first you thought you walked in and you held the cup and then you said something and then you put the cup down. But as you go and your anxiety gets less, you realize I was actually not holding a cup. I wasn't holding a cup. There was no cup, but your brain is I think people underestimate how insanely complex the brain is. And that is something that I try to portray in my reading, because yes, as much as political as reading is, and yes, as much as everything liberal that the reading is, and yes, as much as an escape and enjoyment reading is, it can also bring awareness to something. And that's exactly what I'm doing with it. It's like, it's not supposed to be nice. You're not supposed to feel nice. I'm sorry. You're not supposed to feel nice. Be nice reading that. Because guess what? Healing isn't nice.
No.
It's a hard, ugly journey.
I'm still on a journey and I'm 51.
Yeah.
You know what, Ange? I don't think the journey ever ends.
It never ends.
I just think it changes.
Exactly. It changes as you change, as you grow, as you evolve, as you understand things better than you did when you were that age.
Yes. And I think that's what I sometimes find frustrating in the experience of my stories, is that sometimes I feel the readers don't get or appreciate the extent of technicality that I went through to portray something that is very real, but still do it in such a way that it's within a story, and without sounding like it toots my own horn, and I'm sorry if it sounds like that, but
No,
it
toot your horn, babe.
takes skill to do that. I'm just saying, like, and for me, I'm also writing about the trauma that I went through.
Yes.
So there's a level where I am re-exposing myself to things that I have gone through.
Yep.
And there's a level of vulnerability to do that. And I'm not doing that for people to be like, oh my gosh, Shavonne went through so much. Oh, shame.
No, you want to get into the character. You want the character to feel so that the other person who's reading it also feels.
Yes. I mean, the few readers that have had the unfortunate experience of having similar traumas happen to them, they felt so seen.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I thought it was just me. And I'm like, no, it's not just you.
It's the best thing. I know it sounds wrong, but it's the best feeling to feel you're not alone.
Yeah.
And someone else, even though it's a different circumstance or whatever, you're like, I'm not alone.
No.
Yeah, I'm just emotional. So thank you.
Pleasure.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, just in a good way happy. So thank you. I feel seen.
I'm glad you feel.
It's the hardest thing, and it's the best thing to write something that brings that much emotion. But it also breaks our heart because we understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is what writing's about. This is what books are about. It's for people to be seen, for voices to be heard, for change to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and change doesn't happen unless you bring awareness.
Yeah.
Change doesn't happen unless you bring awareness.
No. And unfortunately, you have to face the darkness to get through to the light.
You have to be able to speak about it.
Yeah.
And that's where you need to get vulnerable and write those things and let people see it, feel it, experience it, so that you get, look at my reaction right now, and you're just talking. Yeah.
I think, look, I mean, in no way am I saying that the readers that haven't resonated with it, that their experience isn't valid. That's not at all what I'm saying. But, I think the next level in the way that I could grow as an author is to be able to let them resonate more with it in a way that is not so, for the lack of a better word, irritating. But at the same time, allow the people that need to feel seen to feel seen.
Yes.
I promise you they will. Yeah.
And people are being seen. You're making a huge impact. So don't ever doubt that.
I do doubt myself a lot.
But it isn't, and this is the sad thing about most of the authors. There's so much self-doubt. And the one thing you all need to realize is that you wrote the damn book.
Yeah.
You stood out of your comfort zone and you threw it into the universe. And look at the impact you're doing.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I'm not doing it by myself. But
this is about you at present time.
Yes.
She's like me the other day as well. When you called me on Blood and Salt, I'm like, yeah, but we're a whole team. You're like, no, but wait, Leanne, this is about you right now. I feel you, Shavonne. I feel you. It's weird having the spotlight on you.
But it's deserved.
It's very much deserved.
It's deserved, and I need you to recognize that.
Sure.
I'm trying.
And I know it's hard, but you're getting better at it.
I know. Thank you.
You are getting better at it.
I get my 10 points.
You get your 10 points.
Flowers. There you go.
But it's by having these conversations that make you believe even more within yourself, because you're being heard. People are understanding. They're seeing a different layer of Shavonne, and not the layer that they think they know on YouTube or on any of the social media platforms. You know what I mean? There's always this assumption about somebody because maybe they've written 5 or 10 books or they've written this style of work, and people start to naturally make assumptions. And if you get a little bit more popular, some people don't like it.
No.
So they try to bring you down.
Yeah, 100%.
So the one thing I will say to you, and I'm very honest, as you all know, you've got nothing to worry about.
Fine, girl. It's fine.
Far from it.
Thank
You
you.
bring a lot to the table and more. So never doubt it.
Thank you.
Well,
So now let's get on to something a bit fun.
Am I going to share the phantom of music?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. Just to put into context, this was the end of 2017. It was a New Year's. It was New Year's Eve. Lexi was in her cot. I was with my parents at that point in time, and my brother, who's 3 years younger than me, was having a braai at home, and he was very sweet, where he was like, "Come join you," and I did a little bit, and then I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go now," and then I went into my room. Lexi was sleeping in her cot, and I took out a pad of paper and I wrote. Without thinking of any, I just sat down and I wrote, and this is what came out. Some songs are composed to be a duet, others for a whole orchestra to perform, and some are solos. Have you ever noticed that most solos have an underlying tone of loneliness? The instrument can be played in full glory, yet it does not answer to its call. Its music is swallowed by the surrounding silence, as it transforms into an echo that eventually fades into silence. I do not even think I am a solo song. I'm the phantom of music. The tune of my heart is only echoed with silence, as if I do not exist. I do not march to the same beat as the people of my time. I am out of beat. I do not fit in. I'm the soundless flute that only adds to the whispers of the wind. I'm the drum that can feel the beat around me, yet I cannot replicate it. I'm the music notes that, when played, am too much. My notes fade as if they were written with invisible ink, or ink only visible in fluorescent light. I am a song that cannot be sung, as the musical symphony within my time is not of my time. It is not understood. It is a song that would speak the truth of the whispers of the wind, a song that would bring warmth and comfort to the cold and lonely night, a song that sun would sparkle to during the day, a song that not even a nightingale has the range to be able to sing. It is a song that has been closed in silence and might never be played, as my heart may never feel safe to play it. It is a tune that vibrates within my being, a tune that only I can hear. I long for someone to unlock my heart, hear my song, and dance with me to it. I want my song to be answered with a song of his heart, so that two solos may become a duet, and not be answered with the loud ringing of nothing. I do not know if such a man exists, but I feel exposed and hurt, and everything intimate about me is off-putting, as I'm a classical piece, not a modern one. Only time will tell if such a man exists, but until then, I am the phantom of music, the soundless flute, the invisible music notes that locked away in silence. My tears are silent today, streaming down my cheeks, with no sound accompanying them. They are the tears of the silent song locked away in my heart, as if it thought it had the opportunity to be played, yet the first few notes of the introduction were too much, and now it is silent. The vibration needs an escape. The only way it is to form tears. Have you ever wondered why tears come through the eyes? Eyes are supposed to be the windows to someone's soul, leading to their heart. If the heart is broken, the only way for the hurt to escape is for the brokenness to be sealed into packages so that they may be delivered through the window to eventually be evaporated, so they never existed in the first place. 2017 has been an exceptional, long, challenging year for me. A new town, a baby, a new job, losing weight, legal battles, trying to make friends, therapy, and trying to date again. Everything's been successful other than the dating. I'm scared to let someone in. What I show in the beginning is exciting, and then I became too much. I'm someone who cannot be appreciated and loved. I'm too different. My ex said to me, has damaged me beyond repair, so no man will ever love me. Sometimes I hear his voice saying that to me. I'm not worthy of being cherished. I'm only meant to be looked at and to be admired, but not to be adored and not to be cherished. The songless lark cannot attract a mate due to the lack of music, the lack of sound, the presence of silence. It may be safer to be alone. One can find comfort in silence. I've been before, silence became a friend, and it can become one once again. My heart is sore. It is almost poetic to end 2017 as I started it in tears. A way to seal the year in its totality and let it evaporate into the past.
Yo, yo. No words.
And then came Mr. Cupcake.
Oh, Mr. Cupcake, thank you. No, I need to get tissues. Just wait. I'm gonna just put you here quick so I can get my tissues.
I love the reference from the heart and the tears.
Oh yeah,
That's just
that.
beautiful.
Thank you.
And it's a lot of the things that you spoke about, I totally understand. I resonate with. And it's stunningly written.
Thank you. So when I read that to my therapist,
Okay, but thank you.
she was like, okay, I think we found a way how to process.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
And then, so then a lot of creative writing pieces came from that. And then that's how Get Out and Stay Out was done. And then after a reader read that, they were like, you know what you should do? You should rewrite this bit in fantasy. And at first I was like,
I don't want to. I've done the thing. I did the thing.
Why?
It's
And
done.
then afterwards, I was like, sounds like a read.
Maybe I can do that.
Yeah, so Vengeance was the last bit of gunk that came out. And yeah, then the rest is history.
Have you always had a love for Greek mythology?
Yes, because it was actually something my grandmother and I spent a lot of time talking about. My grandmother was tiny. She was a tiny woman. She was really short, but man, oh man, did she have a personality. Like the whole world knew she was coming. And she had a huge love for history. She loved the Greeks and the Romans and just the whole ancient time, the Egyptians. But what specifically fascinated her was the Greek mythology. So often when I went over for tea or just time with Omi, we would talk about Greek mythology. And that's just something that stuck with me. And one of the things that she said was what the Greeks did really well was they were able to explain things through story. And that's what resonated so well with me, to be able to explore trauma through Greek mythologies, because so for me, it's a very ancient culture which I want to show respect to. So whenever I write about a myth, the book always ends in how we know the myth today as my form of respect to the ancient culture. But how we get there, whatever I can't validate with factual things that we have record of today, I fill with speculative fiction.
Okay.
But in a way to portray the specific trauma that I'm trying to portray to, which is very much still in the line of what Greeks used to do. They told stories to be able to bring awareness or to share knowledge or for something to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I chose Greek mythology to do this within.
You do it very well.
Oh wow.
I try.
I try.
You do it very well. But I love how you've just explained that, because now this, for people that have maybe not read some of your work, they
Yes.
will be able to say, oh, okay, now I can understand the dynamics of it. Do you know what I mean? Because you write some incredible work. I'm not gonna lie.
The tandem, I think, of look, Secrets of the Shell has a very special place in my heart because of obviously of it being the dedication to Amber. And Amber and I were friends since the age of 13. So
You in trauma, but you're taking it in a different way.
yeah. And it was just so I mean, Secrets is a very special story, but and I think it will always have a soft spot in my heart. But I think of the 4 Greeks that I've written so far, I must say I'm exceptionally proud of the tandem read because
The read is,
of just the technicality of a mirror image that I kept throughout the whole plot.
I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you did it.
I drove
Seriously. I
myself
mean,
mad. I did.
I,
There were many times when I turned to David, I was like, "Dad, if I ever say I'm writing a tandem read again, you must tell me no." And he was like, "Love, you're not going to listen to me anyway." I was like, "That's not the point. The point is you tell me no."
you know what you should do? You should have got him to record that piece of you having a rant so you could show it to you and saying, this is why you don't do it.
Because it was a lot of rewriting.
Honestly.
It looked, I mean, if I didn't have Songs of the Queen going on the side, which I wrote just to like have like I'm sick of this freaking tandem, I am going to something else. Because I literally wrote to a point where I was sick of it. I was so sick of it. I was sick of Helen. I was sick of Hef. I was sick of all of them. I was like, you all are irritating me. So I'm not dealing with you today.
But isn't that the great thing about being an author, is that the fact that you're writing a tandem in itself is insanely like nuts. I could never do it because my brain fog would just be brain fogging and just no way. But the fact that you also write something on the side just to give you some relief from it's like okay, just add another layer.
How do you know when a book is done? How do you know when a book is finished? Like, for example, with your tandem read, how do you know with the Secrets of the Shell? How do you know? Okay, this is not done. I'm finished. I'm happy with this. Yes.
So I'm going to answer for the tandem first. So the tandem for me, what was really important for that was the mirror image to be consistent throughout the whole story. I think I've probably rewrote that entire story 30 times.
What?
Yeah, they were stripped out.
You wrote the one book and then the other, or both at the same time?
Same time, but in their separate forms. So write, stop, write, stop. Is it mirror image? No, rewrite, write. That's how I did it. And so just to give an example of when I say mirror image, in a point in Fireforge, Hephaestus tells you about Helen, especially in the beginning of the story. And the version that you find of Helen in the beginning is mirror opposite to the version that you find of her from herself in the beginning of Shadowvale. And that was portraying in the beginning of my healing journey. If you had to ask my dad or my mom or my brother or David when he just met me, they would have all said, "Oh, Shavonne's lovely, she's a wonderful person." But if you asked Shavonne who she was, I would have been like, "I'm nobody. I am just a survivor. I'm damaged. So that is a mirror image to what everyone else saw me as, and that is what I portrayed between the Helen version that you hear and then the Helen that you hear from, but then it starts swapping. So the more
Look at you said it.
so there's it was so if I had a movement this way, then the other book had to move that way.
Sure.
And if the one book went this way, then I had to have the other book go that way. Like it had
Mirror
to
image.
mirror image the whole time. And then
Like a disco ball.
there's a portion where, so I also thought, okay, if there's mirror image, but if a mirror had to survive over time, the likeliness of it having a crack is quite high. So there is also a crack within the storytelling where there's a slight fracture within book 1. And in that fracture, there's this distortion that happens in book 2. So yeah,
What I can't, it's the fact that you have a full-time job,
Yes.
you have a family,
Yes.
and you still do a frickin' tandem. Like,
so
super
I
good.
write.
Superwoman.
Well, no, I'm not superwoman. I just time manage very well. No,
Because you are, you know.
no. So the girls, I'm mom until the girls go to bed, and then David likes. So Dave's and my series are very different. We like different series. It's very seldom. Like Yellowstone was we both enjoyed Yellowstone, so we do Yellowstone together. But he likes other series that I'm not necessarily into, but I'll sit next to him while he watches his series, which I can predict within 5 minutes. And
why is it always like that?
I don't know. And then I'll write.
Okay.
So it's my way to switch off. I switch off that way. So with the tandems, I felt it was done when the mirror image was done. So for me, it was maintaining the mirror image. And then obviously I went on and then from it, so science was my strongest subject at school. I actually got my South African colours for science. I represented South Africa in a science
Just throw
fair.
that in there, sure, yes.
Look at me, I'm such a nerd. Click, click.
You've got to have that on a t-shirt or something.
I'm such a nerd. Click, click.
And meme.
And that's when I was when I was reading it back, because obviously I had the mirror stuff sorted, and then I was like, but scientifically, if there are 3 different realms, the 3 realms have to feel different, because theoretically Earth would have a different feeling and timeline to Olympus, to the underworld. So I then applied that through. I was like, how do I make a reader see that and feel that? And that would be how I say something, as well as sentence structure and flow of sentence structures. And that what gave me that idea was Songs of a Queen, because Songs of a Queen, that entire book is written like a song. Like it is a song. Everything's a song.
Ooh.
Yes. But we'll move on from that. And then I was like, if Helen is moving down the underworld, like if you dive in a deep sea or a deep pool, the further down you go, the more pressure you feel on your ears.
Yes.
So that should reflect in the story. So those are elements so my scientific brain kicks in, and then obviously Mrs. Fletcher, and the story is more than a story. So I didn't stop until I felt those books, the boxes were ticked. Secrets of the Shell, because I actually want to do a second edition of Secrets of the Shell.
Yes, please, and thank you. Yes.
And, because I think where I am now with my writing versus where I was when I wrote it are 2 total different places.
I can imagine.
And that's one thing that I said to David in the beginning when I first done, because Vengeance, if I had to rate Vengeance, I'd give it a 2-star. Like, yes, I would give it 2 stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honest. Cool.
No, I'm being honest. No, I'm being very honest. And and again, I'm not saying that people that are giving me 4 stars are over thinking it. I'm just saying the standard that I have for myself.
You just critical on yourself, yeah.
I would give it a 2. And Secrets of the Shell, when I wrote it, I was not at the level of what I could, if I had to write secrets now with how I've grown as an author, it would be a different book.
But that's
And
why there's to be a second book.
And I feel that Amber deserves that.
Mm.
And Sight of Stone as well. I want to do a second edition of that book, just because I believe that sexual assault survivors deserve more than what I portrayed for them. And
But
there's
the good,
obviously a certain level
you've
of
evolved now.
Yeah, I've evolved. But like I said to Dave, I'll never unpublish those versions. Like, to me, it's really important that the reader sees the growth, that or even a different author, because often these authors that are huge hits from the beginning, we only see that finished book. We don't see their study that's got filled with all those tries and tries and tries and tries. And for me, if a reader follows my journey, that's why I say start with Get Out to Stay Out, then go to Vengeance, then go to Secrets of the Shell, then Sight of Stone, then the Tandem, because then you will see my reading growth, firstly, and secondly, because you've read Get Out and Stay Out, you'll understand what I'm doing in the Greek mythology.
Yeah.
So what you are saying to people who maybe want to be an author, don't stop writing, keep on playing, keep on trying different genres, keep on researching, don't give up, basically. Like,
no, and put it out there. Like, I mean, I've got mixed reviews from 1 star to a 5 star, and again, it's not the stars. Let's just put this. Let's just put this into perspective, okay? You can get a 1 star review that is still a freaking good review.
Yep.
Because it's honest, it's kind, it's focusing on the craft. Then you get a 1 star review, which is absolute rubbish because that person is just a troll and they're ripping that author to shreds. But they probably themselves don't even have a book out there that's published or even sat down to write.
Yeah.
Or they might have not even read the book.
Yes. So it's not the stars. It's what is said and how it's said. So, I mean, I'm saying this as Madam Cupcake, as Shavonne Bulmer, put your work out there, because firstly, you won't know what's resonating with people unless you put yourself out there.
Yeah.
It's just obviously my ask to the broader community is, if it was you, how would you receive what you're about to say to the author? You can still say what you need to say, but in a kind way.
Kindness.
I think that's also your message, what I've seen since the beginning. The way you want to be treated is how you're going to treat someone else. And it's not that you expect it back, but it would be great. But you keep on putting that message out there, that positivity, kindness. Remember, think about the other person. Maybe your words could affect someone. Like, you are just this ball of sunshine. Love it.
I try. I can be thunderstorm sometimes, but I don't put that on the line. I don't put that online.
Yeah, there's going to be some very interesting things happening at the end of the month. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, please do.
Yeah, so my tandem read is releasing in exclusive books the 25th of June and on Amazon the 27th of June.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'll be seeing you at your book launch.
Yes,
I can't wait. Then I can actually get a hug from you ladies.
Yeah, no, I owe Ange a hug very much as well. So yes, I'm just very excited to support you. But regardless of getting it at exclusive books and on Amazon, can we get it at the local book archive, your books?
I still need to send it some copies. I haven't yet. Funny enough, it actually is packed in a little envelope, but I prioritized getting the first place.
Yes.
To the local book archive.
They arrived today.
Yeah. So that they will be coming to the local book archive.
By the way, I like the bubbles.
Thank you.
I wondered what you're talking about before. I'm like, bubbles, what? Huh?
And then you saw
And
the
Michelle showed me, and I'm like, oh,
bubbles.
bubbles. Cool.
You guys will have to buy the book to find out
Yes.
what bubbles I'm talking about.
Yes,
I was
indeed.
so excited about those bubbles. Poor Michelle and Ange got a random message from me. I was like, I want to put bubbles in the pages. And they were like, what are you talking about?
You shall see. Yes.
No, and it works beautifully. It really
Yeah.
does relay what's going on.
Yeah, I must say that's
Ooh.
probably because I'm terrible at spending money on myself. I'm very good at spending on the girls and people I love and David, obviously. But this year, I actually took the initiative to invest in myself as an author, and I bought the software Vellum, which is an amazing format. Oh my gosh.
Mm.
When I
Yeah.
formatted my first book, I actually burst out crying, and David thought it was because I did a cuck purchase. That he was like, "Oh my gosh, is everything okay? Like, must I fight with these people to get your money back?" And I'm like, "All that time I've wasted formatting, like,
Oh, you're cute. You're adorable.
Like-
Oh my goodness.
like it literally takes formatting. Formatting in Word is like I mean, if you put one picture in, it messes everything else up, right? Like it's
Mhm.
a nightmare. What would take you days in Word takes me 10 minutes in Vellum.
Meh, 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 meh.
And the great thing is, she's also offering the service via SAIAA
I love
I
it.
for
decided to
formatting, which
share.
is amazing.
Yeah, it's an amazing software. I did not push the tandem through it before it went to print because I bought the software after I had sent the tandem to print. So what I am planning on doing is next year I'm going to take off just writing. I'm writing. I'm going to rewrite Side of Stone. I'm going to rewrite Secrets of the Shell. I'm rewriting Vengeance of the Serpent Shadow. And I want to change Songs of a Queen into a 3-book series. So Songs of a Queen,
Mhm.
Songs of a King, and then I don't know what the third title will be, but it will be something. And
Amazing.
and I want to rapid release that. I don't want to do book. I want to be able to rapid release. But then I'm going to do a full rebrand on Shavonne Bulmer. So
Exciting.
I'm going to so Sight of Stone and Secrets of the Shell will also be, the covers are going to be redesigned to be in line with the tandem. So Eloise, who did
Nice.
the design for my Greek mythology, she'll be my full-time Greek myth retelling designer. And then Tarine will be doing my epic fantasy. And
Amazing.
and my sci-fi. She will be my two. So those are my two designers that will forever be doing my covers. And I'm obviously still researching my sci-fi, which was supposed to be a duology, but that's now turned to a trilogy.
You
Of
crazy
course.
girl. Are you
And-
sure you're not a full-time author? The way you talk, the way
Yeah.
you speak about books,
No,
it sounds like you're a full-time author.
I have a goal
Okay.
that in
Yes.
3 years' time,
Okay.
when I turn 40, I will have my black swan moment at work, and I will go to Mauritius for a week and celebrate my birthday with Mr. Cupcake and the Cupcakes. And
Awesome.
I will be a full-time author, fully embracing my Delulu ideas that I have of stories.
You'll be welcoming to my world.
Yeah. And I'll begin. There's a saying that your life only starts at 40.
It is so
Okay.
true. Let
Is
me
it?
tell you, best years of my life have been from when I started my 40s. I'm now 51.
And I have a plan to put that into action. And so I have my pen name has released 1st of June.
Okay.
And my pen name is within Regency Romance. It's
It's awesome.
Pride and Prejudice meets Bridgerton would be the series. I'm not sharing what my pen name is.
I was trying. I'm like, even with my opinion, writing, like, ooh.
But
I understand why a person also gets a pen name.
so firstly, strict regency. Well, I suppose it works both ways. Your Greek myth retelling readers and your sci-fi readers and your fantasy readers don't really take you seriously as an author if you've got too much regency under your belt.
Okay.
And your regency romance readers think you're going to be a weird romance reader if you've got too much Greek mythology and fantasy under your belt. So I have to have the two umbrellas. And I will bring one romance series under Shavonne Bulmer, which will then link to my pen name. But that will be
In many years.
no,
Many years.
I'd say probably
Teasing.
4 years time, 3-4 years time, because the world that I built is a type of world. So it's 5 books plus a prequel, but within the 5 books there are 2 characters that you fall in love in. That those 2 characters will have their own 5 books, but they all link to one another. So I've written a 5-book sets in a way that you would read. What's that guy's name? Sherlock Holmes. You can pick up any book and in the series and it makes sense. That's pretty much the same for my pen name. So if you had to jump in on the 6 5-set books, it still makes sense. And then you can read 3, 2, 1, 5. It all makes sense, but you get the complete picture. So the Shavonne Bulmer will slot into. It will take all the cupcakes and be like, ta-da! This is the kind of world that you can get lost in. But your romance readers are like piranhas. They're like yum 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 whenever they find good stories. So that's one of the reasons why I've gone Regency romance, to create me that cash cow. I'm able to, in 3 years, and I ran the numbers through a business case. Between 3 to 5 years, I should be able to tell Capitec, thank you very much, goodbye. See ya.
Awesome.
Love
That's
it.
cool. I love the goal.
I have to cut us off, and we can still speak for a whole another 2 hours.
At
But
least.
wow, you got it. You're on fire in the best kind of way.
Thank you for joining us and being so vulnerable.
Yes,
It's
you made
always a
it quite
pleasure to
quick.
talk with you.
Fuck you, but thank you.
Thank you for your time.
You made it cry. Thank you, everybody.
You must have a lovely weekend.
Thank you,
You
and
too.
stay safe, stay warm, and just thank you for your time and energy.
Yeah, likewise.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, ladies.
Bye. Bye.